All right, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? So, I think that Harada has actually just made a very big reveal, unintentionally, maybe, or intentional, you never know. But I basically think that he just dropped a huge hint as to who the final DLC character for Winter of Tekken 8 Season 2 is going to be. And the reason why I say this is because I saw a really interesting interaction between Harada and a fan on Twitter. Now, as you can see from this tweet, this guy is asking him, "How's Beck doing? I would love to see my main guy back in Tekken 8. Please, Harada-san," prayer emoji. Now, this guy is a cool character. He's a Taekwondo master, but he hasn't appeared in a Tekken game since Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Ever since then, Hwarong has become the Taekwondo master, the Taekwondo fighter for the Tekken series. He's even adopted some of Baekdo-san's moves. So, with all of that being said, taking all of that into account, it's really unlikely that he would ever make it into another Tekken game. Now, Harada responded to this guy with the following message. "Peck is a good character, but if I were to add another Korean fighter, I would want it to be a female character using Taekyon. I've had this idea for 15 years and it still hasn't happened." This is a really interesting thing for Harada to say because from a personal standpoint, I have always wanted a female Taekwondo fighter to be in Tekken, but that never came to be. However, for those of you that are aware, if you remember, once upon a time, there used to be a game called Tekken Mobile. It's since gone offline, it's been canceled, it's not going anymore. But in Tekken Mobile, there was actually supposed to be a Taekwondo girl fighter that was supposed to be released into the game. In fact, there's actual concept art. There's a render for this character, and as you could see here, we see the picture of this character that never got released. She has a whole character design, a concept, but never saw the light of day. So what I'm trying to say here is, what if this is Harada's opportunity to take this character design and make her into the female fighter that is using Taekyon? But with this character model already in existence and being a Korean fighter, she is a female, she is a woman who is from Korea, who was supposed to fight using Taekwondo. However, they could 100% use that. Harada could 100% use this character design and tailor it so she becomes the the Taekyon character that he wants to be a girl. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is very, very interesting, and to me, it's a really big hint as to what we're probably going to get at the end of this year, because remember, the Battle Pass for Tekken 8 Season 2, we're going to have 3 returning characters. We got Anna Williams, we got a returning character in the summer and fall, in autumn. However, in winter, it was already confirmed that the winter DLC character is going to be somebody original, a brand new original character to the Tekken series, kind of the way that Leroy was back in the day when Tekken 7 was out, you know what I'm saying? So, if this is the case, it's very likely that this is going to be Harada's chance to add this female fighter that practices Taekyon into the game. When it comes to the fighting style itself, I'm a little bit familiar with it. I've seen footage in passing, but I decided to do a little bit more research, and I guess let me just show you the first paragraph on the Wikipedia page, because if it is true that we are going to get this fighter using this style, let's kind of see what may happen, what we're kind of looking forward to. So as you can see right here, this fighting style, it says, it is characterized by fluid, dynamic foot movement called bumbalki, or stepping on triangles. Taekyon includes hands and feet techniques to unbalance, trip, or throw the opponent. Taekyon has many leg and whole body techniques with fully integrated arm work. Alright, so as you can see here, that's kind of what we would be working with if this character does happen to be the one that comes out in the winter. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's the best opportunity to do so. And another thing that makes sense to me is that the female cast of Tekken 8 is very underwhelming. And I mentioned this before, and by underwhelming, I don't mean that the girl characters are not good. What I'm saying is that there's too little of them. There's a lot more male characters in this game than there are women. And I think it would make sense for the DLC to at least include another woman in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? So the way I see it, we got Anna Williams in Tekken 8 Season 2 already. The next two DLC characters, I'm almost positive that they're going to be probably some type of, like a guy character, like Fakumram, Lei Wulong, whatever the heck, Armor King. But the new original character for Tekken 8, I think it would be a perfect time to introduce a new girl character. And if this is what Harada is saying, maybe he's already behind the scenes working on this, especially if it's something that he's been wanting to happen for 15 years. That's a long time. That's a long time, and I think that it's probably the best time for him to actually introduce a new character to the series, a woman character using this fighting style, Taekyon. So, you know, taking all this into account, it's just speculation, I'm just guessing here, but the way I see it, it is a pretty big hint to me as to what we might be expecting later on this year in the winter. Another thing is that the new character is supposed to come with a new stage, and I've mentioned this before, but if you look at the entire stage list of Tekken 8, there's no winter stage. There's no cold stage at all. It's the only type of environment season that we're missing. And South Korea is known to be cold. You know, it's not the coldest place on earth, but from what I do know about it, and I've had people who, friends that have visited and have told me, South Korea can get pretty cold, especially when it comes to the winds. Like, they say that the wind hurts of how, because of how cold it is. So taking that into account, if we were to get a female character that uses Taekyon from South Korea that comes with a stage, I think the stage is going to be a little bit on the... It makes sense to have it be a winter-themed stage, something cold. You know what I'm saying? So I think, it's pure speculation at this point, but I think it kind of makes sense. I think I'm kind of connecting the dots, and I don't think it's unrealistic for me to think about this, that this might actually happen, and that this might be a hint as to what we're getting. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know what y'all think. Would you guys be down for this character potentially to be introduced, or are you guys kind of wanting something else? Beyond that, I'm going to call it here. Like I said, I hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe out there. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.